Low staff tutorial for beginners. You're going to start with a simple warm-up, turning your staff from one hand to the other hand, and it's going to twist out. This is an easy way to warm up the wrists to stay safe from injury during this workout. So you just take it from one hand, let it turn as far as it will go, and then the other one. As you gradually increase your speed, this is going to pull your hand over more, twist your wrist more, which will also increase the flexibility while it increases your speed and power of your strikes. So your muscles are going to get stronger just by doing this one simple basic warm-up move from one side to the next. And then put it in your right hand. You're going to go into a figure 8 from one side of the body to the other side of the body. You're just leading with your thumb, carving this sideways infinity sign or figure 8, sideways figure 8 sign. Going from one side to the next. Slow it first, and then pull your stomach tight. Make small motions in your hips and shoulders. Keep your other hand up and in. Guard your head. You're gonna hit yourself every once in a while. Just hit my elbow. But keep your hands in. Using the martial arts weapons are really good for teaching you spatial awareness, or where your body is in space and time. Put it into the other hand. Bring that foot forward. Go into your sideways figure 8. This is also known as an endless spin or an infinity spin. Stomach up and in, abs tight, gradually increasing your speed, faster and faster, with small movements, hips and shoulders. Just whack myself again. That's a good sign. Sometimes when you whack yourself at the beginning of your training, your staff is too heavy or you're going too fast. But as long as it doesn't kill you, keep going. Allow yourself to get some bumps and bruises. You might have weeks where your training goes really well and it's smooth. You're not dropping your staff anymore. Then all of a sudden you're hitting yourself again. That's because nothing ever stays the same. Your body never stays the same. It's always growing. You might get strong in one area, and as you level up, you might have to change, continue to grow. Then bring that to a stop. Go back into the first hand, the right hand. You're going to pull up and away from you. Just turning. Again, stomach up and in, abs tight. Pulling. Faster and faster. Put it into the other hand. That foot goes forward and you're pulling. So you started with this sideways figure 8 carving with your thumb. Now you're carving with the pinky going just in the opposite direction. This is going to build speed, strength, power. There's forearms, wrists, flexibility. And start to go from one hand to the other hand in this reverse spin. Just taking the staff, pinky to pinky, palms up, from one hand to the other one. And you already know this motion. You started this way. Turning out was your warm-up. So now you're doing that reverse figure 8, reverse endless spin, starting to move forward, moving back a little bit. Start to get your heart rate up, break a sweat, go faster and faster when you're ready. But challenge yourself. Get out of your comfort zone in order to grow. There's no growth inside the comfort zone. You have to have challenge if you want to get anything done in life. All right, go back to that first hand, the right hand, and go back into your forward figure 8 spin. But this time in a different plane to the front and the back of your body. So my feet are just under my body. I'm bringing it here, in front and then back. Slow it down a little bit. And same as before, you're leading with your thumb. You're carving that infinity symbol, that sideways figure 8, but you're doing it half of the circle here, and then the other half of the circle behind you. Same exact motion, just in a different plane. Same as before, abs tight, stomach up and in, tuck your chin, small motion in your hips and your shoulders. We'll make it start to go faster. Do that for a while, put it in the other hand, and the same thing. Front and back. Tighten up. Feet just under your body, make sure they're not too wide. When you fight, whether it's with a weapon or with your hands, you want to be able to come in quickly, move from side to side. You want to be agile. That means narrow stances. You have to have strong stances, strong foundation, feet under your body. If you're too wide, you're very slow. So when we do forms, we might do our forms in these long, see if I can get it in there, these long stances, right? Long stances, long stances. But when you fight, you're gonna move quickly. So when you warm up and you're doing this motion to move forward, just keep your feet kind of narrow under your body. No wider. This is too wide. This is easier. Make it harder. Get a better workout. Put it back into the right hand and reverse your figure 8 spin. This time, carving. And again, it's just 2 circles. Circle here, circle here. And it's like an 8 or a snowman folded on itself, right? So circle back, circle front. And you can isolate that in your wrist, make it more of a wrist motion. If you want to challenge yourself, go more elbow. If you really want a big challenge, big motions, more shoulder, and see how much more hip I can get here. And that goes faster and faster. You want to challenge yourself that way, but you want to teach yourself too. Figure out what's going to work in every different range of motion. What feels good, what feels hard, what helps you level up. What you don't like to do, that's a clue. Usually if you don't like to do it, that's the one you want to focus on a little bit. It's not about strengthening your weakness either. When it comes to this, fighting, think about not a weakness as being, something you don't like to do. But think of the weakness as where they get in and they hit you. So that means when you go through, and you find something you're not good at, and you hit yourself all the time when you do it, that's the clue. That's what you need to work on while you're getting better with that other stuff. Get better at the things that you don't like to do. All right, so you're doing that negative. We did positive, negative, or forward, back. Go back to turning from one hand to the next. One hand to the other one. Moving forward and moving backward. And then turn around just by taking this small step. And when you turn around, I'm going to show you from the side. When you turn around, you're going to be spinning now in the reverse. So when you start, this will be the front. When you start here, spinning forward, and you simply turn. That puts it into the reverse. You can see that, and then when I turn around again, let me see if I can turn around facing the camera. So we'll go reverse. When I turn, it goes forward. When I turn back, you're in the reverse. And I want you to figure that out. Take small front, back, small steps to the front, turn around, reverse, small steps, turn, and then start moving a little faster and faster and faster. And all you're doing is taking small spins, small turns with your feet. And you can go slower, faster, but as you warm up, start to challenge yourself. Then go behind your back and bring it out. Right hand comes out on the left hand. All you're doing, I'm going to turn around so you can see it. I'm just grabbing under the other hand. I went here. See if we can make it kind of look like that. Actually, it would look like that. And then grab it under and keep it turning. So you're here and bring it out. One more time. Bring it back. So now, go back to spinning forward, slowly, reverse, slowly turn, then try behind your back. And now you're in the opposite direction. Turn to it again, behind your back. Start to go quicker, behind your back, go back The other way. Just real small, simple steps. Behind your back, behind your back. Now you just add a few more moves when you start to do your free flow or your freestyle again with your bow staff. So let's review. Figure 8. Going from one hand to the next hand. This is a forward spin. And then we reversed it. Pulling, pulling, and then hand to hand, stepping back, stepping forward, back, forward. And then I said this will be the front. I'm just showing you from the side. Moving forward, taking a small step just to turn 180 degrees so that now I'm facing the opposite direction, puts the spin in the opposite direction. Slow until you figure it out. And a little faster, and turning, and continuous turning. Turn one way, turn the other way before you get too dizzy. And then we were going behind the back. Got a little dizzy there. Going behind the back. All right, so to go behind the back, you just go here, and you pull it out the other side. Instead of looking like this. But if you just add a little step to your feet, just think of like a cartoon character, right? A little penguin. Just small steps. You don't have to be that graceful yet with your feet. You will become graceful. You'll get really graceful in your feet. But for right now, simply turning back the other way. And a little quicker, turning, a little quicker, a little faster. Now let's go over the head. The right hand just comes straight up, turn it, palm facing you. Take it with the other hand. This is how you started your warm-up. You know this move already. Right hand comes up, turn it in, take it out with the left and drop it. Back to the right hand, up, from here to here. All I'm doing is turning, and just like we warmed up with, you know how to do this. So you're going from here and then up here. It's actually the same figure 8, but instead of, remember when we did the figure 8 in front of our body? It's very obvious, right? You're coming here to here. So it's like you take that 2 loops of the 8 and you turn a little bit so that now it's coming back and coming back. And then you went to the front and the back of the body. So now you've taken it and you've folded it, that figure 8 or that infinity sign, to the front and the back of your body. Now, over your head, in front of your body. So here's one circle, here's the other circle. Here's one, here's the other one. Take it out, there's the other one. 1, 2, 1, 2. So now you're just folding that figure 8. It's all endless spinning. Endless spinning is the key to bow flow or freestyle, whatever you want to call it. Flow arts. Everybody makes up a name because they think that they invented it. None of us invented it. I didn't invent it. Some people are really good at it, like Krista Smith. I know some of you guys watch her. She's amazing. She's a baton twirler by trade, originally. Now she's a stunt woman, martial artist. She looks great. She does all the things. She's one of the best lightsaber people that I think is on YouTube. Anyway, the point is, but none of us invented it. She didn't invent anything. I didn't invent anything. And that's not to detract or take anything away from anybody. That just means that don't get stuck on who said what. Learn what you can. Remember, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just different. So once again, over the head, in front of the body, then over the head and behind the back. Over the head, and you know behind the back. It's the same behind the back, over the head, behind the back, over the head, behind the back, over the head, in front of the body, over the head, behind the back. Yeah, and you can see the point, right? And then start doing the feet again. Well, I dropped it again. Have you ever dropped your staff and you wonder what you do? You just pick it up, right? I know, sounds obvious, sounds cliched, but don't quit. The problem is not dropping it, it's not picking it up. And you have to expect to drop it. I don't care how good you get. You must drop it if you're trying to improve. or you'll never level up. So you start moving forward, turn your body, go behind your back maybe, turn around, turn around. When you're ready, just go behind your back, whip it out over your head, go in front of your body, and now you've got another move in your bow flow. Then add a wrist roll. You thought I was gonna be done with that. Not until you do the wrist roll. This is one of my favorite moves. I'm gonna leave my watch on. Usually I take it off and throw it, and then I gotta go find it. You're watching too much television anyway. Unless you're watching me on TV, then I get it. So what, you've just done yourself a favor. As soon as you can, get outside and flow. I know you were half joking, I'm half joking too. I don't like television personally. I think we could all turn off the television and not look at a news site for the next 15 years and not really miss anything, not that affects you personally. You might miss them trying to coerce and cajole and control the rest of your life with fear, mostly fear, but you're not gonna miss anything good. Is there a show you need to binge watch? All right, so left hand, come up to the thumb side. And I'm serious about that. I don't think we need to watch any television. Especially not the news. Every once in a while there's a funny comedian, but they sometimes aren't that funny either. I like Bill Burr. Anybody watch Bill Burr? He's not appropriate. The children are in the room. Get the children out of the room. But he's a funny dude. And he's one of those guys that's kind of like in the middle. He doesn't pick a side usually, which I like. Let's keep politics off of this channel. How about that? There's always both sides, two sides of everything. And I don't want to get into it here, so I don't think we should. I really don't. I think it's all politics. It's all to distract you and me from the real issues of all the jobs going away because they're going digital. And this isn't politics. This is to distract us from the fact that all the driving jobs are going to be done with AI because 5G hits, and I don't think 5G is making people sick. Maybe it is. I don't know. I think 5G hits and all the jobs go whoosh, and they get shifted and transferred and changed. And then there's so many people out of work and they're freaking out. And so instead of paying attention to that and what are we going to do about that as a community, how are we going to come together and love each other and help each other, we're all talking about what this guy tweeted and that guy tweeted and the coronavirus and the protests. And we're distracted. And it polarizes us. It puts us on separate pages and head to head when we're really all on the same page for the most part. I want to protect my family and provide for my kids. That's it. I want to give them the best experience in life they can have. And you want the same thing. But if we just jump all over the bandwagon of what other side we're on, it's easy to throw poop in each other's face and feel vindicated and feel like we were supposed to. When the truth is, it doesn't say anywhere in any good book, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Talmud, whatever. Nowhere does it say go around making fun of other people and picking on people and threatening people and tearing their stuff apart and hurting people. And it doesn't say that. But man, you fly the wrong flag or say the wrong thing, and then the other guy's got to puff his silly chest out. Neither one of them are saying anything worthwhile. All I want to do is make sure I got food on the table. And my kids can go to a decent school. And no one's going to hurt them. I'd kill somebody if they try to hurt my family. That's it. There's no time for all that other garbage. And I know, I've read it, I've seen it. I'm very familiar with what everybody had said or has said. I still think the same way. It's subterfuge. It's divide and conquer. They've divided the American people. Not just Americans, half the world, other half. For whose benefit? Not mine, not yours. I'm not making any money doing that. You're not making any money off of that. We could flush the whole lot, both sides. We'd all be better off. All right, get off my little soapbox. All of them. The communists, the KGB or whatever they are now, FSB or Putin, his lackeys, the North Korean family who've abused and hurt so many people for all those years. I can't control that and you can't control. That's my point. I can make sure that I got food on the table for my kids. That's all I can do. And if there's a big tsunami coming to wipe that off of the table and take away my ability to do that, the last thing I care about is what Putin said or Trump said or Pelosi said or you name it, or who's rioting, what they're doing in Chaz in Seattle. I can get all excited about that and get some heat under my collar, but why? How does that help me or you? It doesn't. I'm worried about what happens in the economy and how can I be ready so that I make sure my kids have the best and they see a good example. That's it. Think about all the things that people are saying and the kids are hearing it. Anyway, that's how I see it. All right, you're gonna go into your figure 8. And then you're gonna go into a wrist roll. And a wrist roll. A wrist roll. No, it's not just America. I've traveled around the world. I love traveling the world. It's not just America. That's the world we live in. The world has truly become a global place. And that's what's happening everywhere. Just different versions. Some places, there are 0 freedoms. If you open your mouth, you'll find out very quickly. At least in this country, you still have freedom. That's why I served. And thank you for allowing me to serve. Before someone says thank you for your service, I say thanks for allowing me to serve. Anyway, but the world is connected in a way that we'll never disconnect it. We all need to learn how to love each other and be tolerant and kind and stop labeling each other in a way that divides us and makes us weaker when at this time in history we need to come together. You can name there's 190 some countries, name them all. All right, so you see what I'm doing? I'm just going over the back of the hand on one side and over the front of the hand on the other side. So now, back to, this is where we're all talking about free flow today. In freestyle, you're moving forward. If you want, throw a wrist roll in there. Before you turn, throw a wrist roll in after you turn. Keep it slow, move forward, do a wrist roll or two, turn around into a wrist roll, and then start to go behind your back, turning faster, behind the back. When you're ready, bring it up over your head. Whoop, almost smacked myself there because I was thinking of something else, but you get the point, try that. If you hit yourself, that's good, that's extra credit. Behind your back, over your head, into a wrist roll. That's where I was headed with it. So once you do one motion, then throw in some finger rolls. Now this is a continuous finger roll. This is going to stretch out your hands and make your forearms healthier, your wrists healthier, the joints in your fingers healthier because you're extending your hand using your extensor muscles in contrast to the contractions, lost my words, the muscles that contract, right? So usually we're keeping our hand closed, we're turning and our hand is closing, or it's closing this way, it's closing this way. Now, by going through the fingers, you're opening your fingers, so you're improving blood flow, you're building strength, so it balances. It's like if you only did push-ups, but you don't ever do any pulling motions, like rows or pull-ups, or especially getting the shoulders back and down, you're gonna get a really wicked neck pain, and your head's gonna hurt all the time, because one side is too strong and it pulls your body out of alignment. The same is true in your hands. If all you do is this pulling, and all you do is this forward spinning, and you never throw in some finger rolls every once in a while. I like to do about 30 seconds per hand. Then you're gonna get that imbalance. and your wrists. Now, all that stuff I said earlier, that's not to say there aren't bad people, but what I'm saying is make sure you know who's really trying to take what you've got or to keep you down or whatever. And it's usually not the guy next door. It's not your brother-in-law, even though he posts stupid things on Facebook. It's not your best friend from school who posts horrific things just to try to get a rise out of you, by the way. He fell for it too. You need to be say, hey man, how's your family? How's everything going? How's your job? And every time they change the subject to who said what or who's going to get elected or this socialist or that greedy guy or whatever, then you got to change it back. How are you doing? How'd you like the weather last week? Is your health good? Are you getting enough exercise? Are you eating your greens? It's the only thing he has control over. Anyway, all right, so that's a continuous finger roll. And you see it really starts to fire the muscles in the forearm. But to use it in your freestyle, you've got to go to a 3-finger roll, which is the back of the first 3 fingers. And it starts the same way. It starts like this. A continuous finger roll is here. You get that momentum. You go down, and then you come back up the fingers, right? So if we start it over from here, 3-finger roll, 1, 2, 3, when it gets to the pinky and the ring finger. Then it goes around the back just like it did on the wrist roll, and then your thumb comes up, grabs it, brings it back into the hand position, brings it back into your I don't even know what that's called, your grip. There we go. So you go from here, those last 3, put it back into your grip. All right. I understand you've got a lot of facts or opinions or whatever, but I still say you're missing the point. But anyway, we're all entitled to our opinion. And in this country, you have the freedom to speak it. If you were in Mr. Putin's Russia, you don't have that freedom. So I would watch it if that's where you are, but I don't think you are. All right, so anyway, so you go here, and you come here. That's not an opinion either. See what I'm doing? So I'm just going from one side to the other side. I go into that 3-finger roll, grab it with my thumb, continue. You can add a wrist roll here, 3-finger roll, and you'll see I'm doing the forward figure 8, right? So I do my forward figure 8. I can do the finger roll on the same side. This is the right hand on the right side. As I do my forward figure 8, you can reverse it. And now in the reverse, you can do wrist rolls on both sides. You can do a wrist roll, and then over here on the opposite side, you can do that 3-finger roll. So you can do the finger roll both in a positive spin or a forward spin, wrist roll, and then you can reverse it, wrist roll into a finger roll. And when you start to do that, you start to fire new neural pathways in the brain. Not only your hands getting more flexible, but your brain's getting more flexible. And flexibility, especially as we get older, is so important. It ties into everything we're talking about. When you are, and you know some people like this, they get really old and they get really inflexible. They get nervous about everything, afraid of everything, judgmental about everything. They become more racist and bigoted sometimes. That's inflexibility in the brain. And when your body is also inflexible, they work with each other. One can't get flexible without the other. So when you start to move and you increase your flexibility, doing this kind of stuff here, no matter what your age, you get that flexibility back in your brain, which is youth. You want to recapture your youth, you got to get the flexibility back in your brain. You've got to spin a stick, right? Or nunchucks, or I don't care. It could be Tai Chi. Tai Chi's a little slow for me, but it works. You need brain elasticity, and brain elasticity goes in hand with body elasticity. Because your brain exists in your body. It lives together, right? One can't exist without the other one. So back to the flow, and this is where we finish, okay? So we're moving forward. You have forward spins. Turn your body. Now you're in the reverse in the spin. Turn your body around. Start turning faster. So you're working on flow. You're working on freestyle. Turning faster, going one way, back the other way. No way to do it wrong than throw it behind your back and bring it out. Go behind your back the other way. Start to add in, oh, wait a minute. So over your head, behind your back, over your head while you're moving, behind your back, over your head, and in front of your body. That was it. While you're moving, so in front of your body and behind your body, behind your back, and then adding wrist roll while you're turning, wrist rolls to add some texture, and then finger rolls. So finger rolls while you're spinning with your wrist rolls, coming around, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, increase your flexibility, and that's all you have control over. Anyway, let's finish with this. You're gonna hold it, and then depending on how high your ceiling is, you might want to get on your knees. From here, just bring it up. You're gonna strengthen your wrist this way, just straight out to the side, holding all the way in. Now, if your staff is too heavy, you can choke up a little bit so that you're not moving as much. But once you've done 8 to 10 of these, then start here and go forward, just in front of you, and back, or in front of your hand. You're gonna do 8 to 10 of these. And then do this direction and this direction. Do them both. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you do 8 there. And you just do the same thing. Put it in the other hand. And again, I'm on my knees because my ceiling, it's not low, but it's up there. So you go 8 forward, 8 this way. It's hard to do this one fast because this is a levered weight. This is why you're gonna get super strong wrists. And you do 8 in a set. Whether you go to the side, go forward. But then finish with this if you can. You're going to use your hand and you're gonna pull the small part, your pinky side, as you pull the staff in. It's gonna fly at your face, especially as you get better at it. And if you don't stop it, it's gonna hit your face. Let me just tell you that, so you're not surprised when it happens. But that's okay. If it does hit your face, you'll learn. Finish with that 8 pulling motion. When you get that pulling motion, your strikes. And this is what I'm gonna finish about spinning, telling you. All the spinning is to build strength, speed, make you sweat, improve your cardio, improve brain elasticity, but it's like none of it matters if you don't learn how to fight and defend yourself with the bow staff, because it's a martial arts weapon. So learn first how to stick that through somebody's middle. You stand here, here comes the threat, the staff is between you and the threat. You point your thumb at the threat, that sticks in the back hand, and then you push, spear right through their middle, and then you can spear this way, and you have even more power through the middle. Then you can bring it down, breaking their clavicle, hit them in the head, knock the knife out of their hand. You can bring the backside through. So learn how to do that. And then when you learn how to fight with it, you understand the spinning is just to make you strong. It's like a boxer jumping rope, doing push-ups, sit-ups, working with a medicine ball. The guy's throwing it at his stomach. That's all this spinning is. It's cross-training to make you much better at fighting and defending yourself. Grab your staff through the training. Let me know what your questions are. I put the link below for the Patreon. Someone asked me last time. And then there's also a link to the website. It's got all the curriculum on it. It's pasquinelli.com, and then it has a thing after it. But the link's down there. Go take a look at that, and I will